Hello and thank you for joining me today. I'm going to be talking about my anterior pelvic tilt and how I corrected it. And this problem has caused me a lot of issues, especially over the last 5 years. This is not something that's easy to deal with, and I wanted to share my success with you so that you can have success too. This has really caused me a lot of pain and difficulties, especially with going to work and just doing daily activities. And sometimes that can be hard for people to understand. So we'll be jumping into it here shortly. But yeah, if you're wondering, any of my friends out there are wondering why I've walked so funny all of these years, this is part of that. So we're going to be covering my chiropractic care, my physical therapy, and I'm going to give you some extra bonuses that I've learned along the way. Now, starting off with my chiropractic care, I was not able to get into physical therapy very well without getting those chiropractic adjustments done because my back was whack. I'll tell you what, I couldn't get into the gym and do those exercises because I was in too much pain and it was really uncomfortable. But by getting adjusted a few times a week, thankfully I don't have to do that now, but originally I did. And getting those adjustments done, removing the subluxations, made me have much less pain or no pain at all, and I could get in and get stronger and get these things sorted out. It's also not a bad idea to get evaluated by a chiropractor and or a physical therapist to help you figure out what's going on with your body. Jumping into the physical therapy aspect of what I was doing, I had to work on my outer and inner abdominal muscles. I also had to strengthen my weak glutes and my hamstrings, and I also had to stretch out my low back. And I also really had to stretch out my hip flexors because they were very dense and very tight. And I'll demonstrate that to you here shortly. But I do recommend you check out 2 different channels that I found that have really good demonstrations on these techniques. One of them is going to be Guerrillazen Fitness and also Thrall. Great guys, I recommend you check them out. I'll leave links in the description to those videos. These guys helped me learn how to do those exercises properly, which is very important. You don't want to injure yourself, you want to do these movements correctly. And I was also working with a physical therapist at my local gym. So it can help out if you have a physical therapist you can get into that doesn't break the bank. So let's jump into the exercises that I was doing to make this happen. So first, we're going to ease our way into the hip flexors. You're going to need a pad if you are on a harder surface. So if you're on a carpeted area, that works too if you're doing this at home. Or if you're at the gym, just try to take it easy on the knee. Obviously, I don't take it easy on the knees, but that's okay. So here's what you want to do. You want to get into an upright position like so, at a 90-degree angle with your other leg, and you're going to go ahead and make sure your pelvis is tilted out just a little bit like this. So we don't want to be this way, this is where the problem is, okay? We want to be this way, all right? Then what you're going to do is you're going to slowly lean forward and you're going to begin to stretch that hip flexor there in the front. Now this is very important to keep this angled that way because if you come forward or if you're pushing your butt back, it's not going to work properly. You want maximum stretch here. Don't slam into it. You don't want to tear anything up. Just take it easy. Hold this for about 15 seconds to start. If you can make it to 30, that's even better. And you want to do this maybe 2-3 times a day to really get into that hip flexor stretch. The other way that you can do it is with the other leg as well. So same thing. Make sure that you're tilted back just like so, and you're getting a nice stretch in. Another great one you can do for your glutes is to do side leg raises, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I recommend getting a resistance band if you don't have one. Usually start out with the thinner, more elastic ones, and you're going to do about 20 to 30 of these. If you don't have one, that's okay. You can start doing it without them. They're probably already going to be fairly weak, so it'll be a good exercise. So check this out. You're going to stand up like so, raise your leg, bring it back down, and you're going to keep doing this on both sides, just like so. And you might have one side that's weaker than the other. You'll want to work out that side a little bit more to get it up to speed with the other leg. Now, if you can go to a gym and get on a recumbent bike and turn up that setting a little bit to help strengthen your legs, that can be good for you too. You can even do things like the Stairmaster as well. But if you're at home, you can do simple things like getting into a squat, coming up like so, coming back down, doing that about 10 or 20 times, and then work your way up to 30. That's a good way to strengthen your glutes. Another way to do it that I recommend is coming down on your back, and you're going to do I believe it's called a bridge. So you're going to come up like so, just like this, and you're going to hold it there, or you can even do some sets where you hold them like so. This is important. It activates the glutes, it activates that low back just a little bit, and helps strengthen that connection there as well. So if your glutes are really weak, those can be good exercises. So another great thing that you can do if you have the back pain and back issues is get yourself into a roller, a foam roller. Now, I like the firmer ones better. This one's only like moderately firm. There's like a pink one I found online that's a little bit firmer, and they have it at our local gym. I even had one chiropractor that recommended PVC pipe. If you've been through some accidents like I have, and you've got a little bit of scar tissue built up there in your back, it can make it harder to work with. So getting a foam roller like this one, placing it here on the back, and what you want to do, I'll show you here. What you want to go ahead and do is you want to bring it out like so, and you're going to use your abs. You got to hold the abs, and it's going to stretch this muscle right along here, all these muscles, and you got to hold it there, and then you're going to come back up. You're going to come back down right about here in the upper low back region, and you got to hold it, and you're going to feel a nice stretch. Okay, and what you're going to do is you're going to do that a few times until it's got a nice decent stretch. I usually do it once in the morning, once in the evening to help calm things down a bit. The next thing we're going to do is move on to a hanging session, so let's go do that. What I've got right here is a standard at-home pull-up bar. This is pretty easy to get. They're usually 15 to 20 bucks. And so something like this, when you pull up, it decompresses that low back, and you can keep your feet on the ground. That's totally fine, but I'll show you how to do that. You want to do about 2 to 3 sessions of 20 to 30 seconds, depending on how strong your forearms are and your hands are. They'll get stronger as you continue to do this if you're trying to release that low back a little bit and give some decompression to your low back. So check this out. You're going to feel your hips, and you're going to feel that low back stretching out. And like I said, it's going to take about 30 seconds or so, so just give it some time. Then when you're done, just come back up. Last but not least, let's move into the abdominal muscles and really work on those, because if you've got weak inner abdominals and outer abdominals, and even the side area there, that can cause issues for you. So there's a few at-home exercises you can do if you're not going to the gym. Number one is going to be doing planks. So you want to hold yourself like so, you want to squeeze your butt in, and you want to tighten your abs, and you want to hold that for the next 30 seconds to start. See if you can work your way up to 1 minute, and you're really going to tighten up those abdominal muscles until they're nice and strong. I also recommend getting into one of those ab rollers, they're called. They have little handles on the sides, and you can roll them back and forth, and you come out like so, and you draw yourself back in. That's good for the abs. There's a few other machines that you can get on to do that. I did try doing the sit-ups for a while, but I felt like it was pretty hard on my body at the time when I first started. I can do sit-ups now, but if you're not able to do sit-ups, or if you feel like they're too hard on your body, try some of these other exercises, and hopefully they can help you out a bit more too. And then also, if you're going to do your side exercises, you get this pad down here for me. You can put your arm down like so, raise yourself up like this, okay? And that is really going to strengthen each side. So flip over to the other side, do the same thing just like this. You can hold for 20 to 30 seconds, or even I sometimes just do 10 of these, and after that you're going to be feeling those muscles firing up. Some of my best advice I can give you is learn to tune into your body, your muscles, learn what needs to be stretched, learn what needs to be corrected and strengthened. It's very important to come into tune with our bodies, because I feel like that can be missing from so many of our lives, not being able to tune into those muscles and figure out what is going on. So before we get into the bonus tips here, I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to be doing a video on how I fixed my lateral pelvic tilt, as well as my fallen arches on my feet. And we're also going to be covering how I fixed my cervical curve in my neck and got that back into working order. A bonus tip for you, and that's going to be how you're sitting. So what you want to do when you're sitting is not to lean forward much. You also don't want to overcompensate by arching your back like this. You want to go ahead and squeeze your butt just like that, and you want to tighten up your abs just like so. And this is going to drive those bones down into the chair. You should be able to feel them between your butt and the chair, and it'll be a nice, comfortable, balanced position for your body when you're sitting. Like I said, if you arch your back like this, okay, what it's going to do is it's going to tighten up those muscles. They're already dense, they're already tight, and it's going to be painful later. So my second bonus tip, what I'd recommend to you is regularly stretching your hip flexors, especially when you're starting out. They can be really tight and dense. You want to keep going with it. Don't give up on yourself. You know, if you keep pushing, you will get through this. It's a very hard thing to deal with. I see a lot of posts online where people just don't seem to make it through, but if you keep going, I really feel that you can make it through it. So stay strong in your mind. You can do it. Bonus tip 2.5. One of the best things you can do for pain relief and reducing inflammation that I found is to get ice. Do icing. I'll do 2-3 minutes of ice right there on the spot if my low back's in a lot of pain, or if I'm dealing with something like that. And you can also even maybe tune into doing some cold showers and cover larger portions of the body. It is difficult to get into at first, I understand that, but maybe you can gather some inspiration from good old Wim Hof and see the pain relief that people have gotten from some cold exposure. Don't overdo it, but it has helped me. Bonus tip 2.7. So one of the best things you can do, or at least that I found, is sleeping on my back. Now, there's different ways to do it. You might want to prop your legs up a little bit. Find what's comfortable for you to take some of that pressure off at night so you're sleeping, because sleeping is so important to healing. And I've found that sleeping on my back, forcing myself to do it, has been one of the best solutions for my recovery process. Not easy to do or learn, especially when you've been doing it your whole life, but if you can do it and you get relief, keep up the good work. Bonus tip number 3, don't overstretch your low back. When you're using a roller or you're trying some different low back stretching exercises, be sure to take it easy. Do a little bit of stretching, take a break. Do a little bit more, take a break. I've overstretched my low back and it has caused a subluxation, and that is a very painful thing to go through. You don't want to do that. When those discs get out of alignment because you're overstretching your very tight back, it can really hurt you. So I recommend doing the hanging exercises and doing the rolling, but don't overdo it. I think that's one of the biggest things. Stay in balance here and listen to your body. Bonus tip number 4, I recommend anti-inflammatory foods, especially ones that help with pain. Now, if you can tolerate spicier things like ginger, I definitely recommend ginger root. Ginger root's excellent. Sometimes I'll chew it up, sometimes I'll make ginger shot juice out of it, depending on how I'm feeling. You can even boil it up and make some tea. Very effective, I've found, for pain relief, and if you're dealing with pain and discomfort, it can be a good way to help you out. Turmeric's also good. I recommend a whole foods, plant-based diet with a lot of diversity in it. There's a lot of anti-inflammatory properties in food, and when you eat junk food, when you eat fast food, that causes more inflammation and can really increase your pain level, and that is not good. So just keep that in mind. If you're interested in more information on a plant-based diet, I recommend you check out Dr. Esselstyn or Dr. Michael Greger. There's some great information out there about what a plant-based diet can do for your joints, do for various pain relief. Bonus tip number 5. My last bonus tip for you on today's video is doing yoga. Yoga can be so great. get into one of those once a week yogas or twice a week, or even some of these free online videos here on YouTube for this type of thing. If you're trying to deal with anterior pelvic tilt and you want to get things stretched out and you are on a budget, check it out. Some of those yoga sessions can really help you out if you're dealing with those tight areas in your body. And some of these great ladies and gentlemen can help show you how to do it properly, which is even more important. Thank you for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. If you have any comments, I'd like you to leave them down below so we can talk about it. Maybe help out some other people that might be dealing with the same issue if you've got some advice of your own or ways that you've healed on your journey too. So yeah, leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit that notification icon for future videos, and we will see you in the next one, baby.